Missouri is the backdrop of the new drama, 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
If it was me, I'd start up a database. Every male baby was born, stick him on it. And as soon as he'd done something wrong, cross-reference it, make 100% certain it was a correct match, then kill him.
Yeah, well, there's definitely civil rights laws prevents that.
Now, Rob, this is a movie that is very much of this time. It has a lot to do with injustice and undercurrent of anger going through society and this community that has been stricken by this person that is shaking the cages of the local police department when Frances McDormand's character sets up 3 billboards accusing the police of being lazy and not investigating her daughter's murder.
Yes.
I thought with how timely this was going to be that it would just take me away emotionally, and that didn't quite happen, but I'm interested to see what you think.
Well, I'll tell you what, to answer that question of the timeliness, I'll tell you, I stepped back and I didn't let that really affect me. Yes, there is some stuff about police injustice, that there are some racial issues to this, as a subtle undercurrent about this. But really, I sat here and just watched a movie that was about a police investigation, about the characters in this small fictional town dealing with a lot of anger, a lot of pain, a lot of just nuttiness. And so I was able to kind of divorce myself from wanting to feel those emotions of the social type things and just enjoy the film for what it was. And this is a great film. I really enjoyed it. The acting performances are first rate, from Frances McDormand, who's almost guaranteed a Best Actress nomination at Oscar time, down to Sam Rockwell, who I really loved his performance as a, to say the least, a deputy with some anger issues.
Right.
You know, that's to say at least. But he, in the scenes he's in, for me, really steals the show. And I think it's going to keep the audience guessing from the beginning to the end. You know, if you were to watch the first 10 minutes of the movie and then see the last 10 minutes, there's no way you're ever going to figure out how it gets from one point to the next. It's just, it's really inventive in the way that it does.
I think our paths divide, though, with the story that there's some that for the most part this movie is cynical. And that's typical of writer-director Martin McDonough, who did one of my favorite films of 2008, In Bruges. You're dealing with a lot of cynical characters, but at times there are these emotional payoffs, these emotional moments in the movie, and you'll know which ones they are because of the score and the music playing at the time. And none of that resonated with me. I didn't feel emotional. I didn't feel hooked by any of that. And in some cases, especially with Sam Rockwell's character, I felt that the payoff wasn't as earned as I think the movie wanted it to be. Okay.
You know, I would just disagree in that the places that you were looking for emotion at, to me, and I know what scenes you're talking about. The first scene, to me, that was almost, after it happened, was like, that's a logical step for that character to take. It made sense to me. So it's almost like I could divorce myself from the emotion and just say, that was a logical step. And so I didn't need to feel the emotion. The story itself propelled me on to the next scene.
Okay. That's interesting. I mean, for the most part, I think that this is a well-shot movie, that it's engaging. Even if not emotionally engaging, then I think that just the unpredictability of the story, like you mentioned, kept me watching from beginning to end.
Yeah. I really love this movie, but there are its shortcomings. You know, some of the scenes are contrived, and I think some of the dialogue at times, as clever as it is, you know, it's almost too clever for its own good. It's almost like instead of a actual dialogue a character would speak, it's really almost like a screenwriting exercise that a screenwriter would be doing for a teacher, almost like, make a clever scene. And it's just like, I think it suffered a little bit from that, and should have just stuck more with the severity of the topic.
I agree. So what would you give it for a rating?
I'm going to give this a soft 4.5. It's definitely better than 4. It's not a perfect film. It's not a 5-star movie, but I think that if people want to see something really interesting that they're not going to see every day, this is going to satisfy some. All
right, I'm going to give this 3 Joes out of 5. That I think it's a solid movie, but maybe not essential viewing.
Yeah. And also, I think it should be noted that this is a rated R movie.
Yes.
The language is pretty profane in this, so if you at all are faint of heart, you might want to stay away from that.
Also, this movie is currently only playing at the AMC Berrywoods Theater, about a half-hour away. So if Rob's review has compelled you, it's worth a 30-minute drive. To see what's playing in St. Joseph, read St. Joe Live in Friday's edition of the St. Joseph News Press, or go online to stjoelive.com. And join us next week as we review The Disaster Artist. Until then, we'll be live at the movies. See you later.